I know I put my why video and all that stuff. So I'm good with whatever you words. Look, I'm a dumb animal. You're the artist. You have this down. I'm great at telling my story. I'm great at sharing all that stuff.
Okay. Well, no,
Being
and
emotional, but I can't. Like I said, I don't know how to do all the cool, crazy things.
No, that's literally why. That's why I'm here. I want to get your story out. I really think that you have an impeccable story. Last thing, bring the mic just a little bit closer. Like push it in.
Push it in.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, and then should be like about this far from your mouth. Yep, right there. Okay,
Sure.
good.
I like to move down. Well, yeah.
And then now I also have a limiter. So whenever you talk loud, it won't peak. So you can talk loud. I want you to talk like we're actually having a conversation. Okay.
All right. Let's bring in the emotion. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, don't yell at me, but like, you know what I mean?
Don't tell me what to do.
Excuse me. Have you not met me? That's literally all I do is tell people what to do.
You just made a new kink for me now. You trauma me.
No, hey, that's fine. That's fine. Look, we're going to talk about trauma too. All right, here we go. Good morning, YouTube world. My name is Joshua. Okay, hold on one second. Good morning, YouTube world. My name is Joshua Coatson, your overnight success story, and this is the Baby J Show. Now, today I have Carl Bender. Now, I'm going to have him explain to you who he is and why he's here. But I just want to say, first off, I just want to say thank you, not only to you, Carl, but this is the first episode in a very long journey of getting people's story, people who are really making a difference in Arizona. And I don't think I could have started with a better person. And I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. He and I, so Carl and I, have been talking about this for a long time. I will ask you, I'm going to shut up. Please tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Well, first thing, let me say thank you. It's a big honor. We have been chatting for a while. I'm talking about how I wanted to share my story and hearing your ideas, like how we can bring it together. So, and this would be the first. I mean, it's going to be the best. I don't know how can anybody compete after this. But, my name is Carl Bender. I run a nonprofit helping kids and adults with disabilities play sports. I do it in the honor of my brother, who saved my life. And, it's a crazy journey from going there, having a brother with disability to now what I do. So, and we'll probably get into all that stuff, but our Mikey's League is a little different than most other organizations that do the same thing. Tons of great ones. But what we do is we take athletes with cognitive, physical, and no disabilities, and we come together and play. And we keep it to as true as the sport as we can. Like we want the kids to run it back. We want the kids to get intercepted. We want that, the stuff that you build on through sports. So,
and in that, if I may interrupt you, what I'd like to do is I'd like to play the video from your YouTube, from Mikey's League, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's play that real quick.
Hi, my name is Carl Bender. I am the co-founder and, more important, coach of Mikey's League. How Mikey's League got started is because of my little brother, Mikey. My parents took him to a doctor, and that's when we found out he has cerebral palsy and his heart was backwards, and that he had to go and get a pacemaker or he wasn't going to live. I mean, they told us he wasn't going to live past the age of 3. He had a few months, and he made it all the way to 21. He saved my life. He literally saved my life. When I was in Iraq, he ended up having complications with his heart. And he was on the donor list, was gonna get one, but it just didn't come in time. And so when he passed, I got to come home for his funeral. The day of the funeral, my unit got hit with a big IED. And truth be told, like my buddies, I came back just to see, and they were like, man, if you were there, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't. My mom would have been burying 2 sons in less than a month. Growing up in New York, we used to play sports, and we had the lot next to us that we would play in, and all the neighborhood kids. And he wanted to play, and I was like, always telling him, no, you can't. How, we don't know how. And then finally, I just was like, you know what? Yes, let's figure this out. You wore me down, like little brothers do. We got him involved, and they were like, well, what can we do? We can't tackle him. So I was like, you know what? Scare him, and then he'll fall over, and then we'll count him down. And the moment we did that, I didn't even know the change, the impact that would have on myself, my family, the community around us, especially him. It was able to change, his thought process, our thought process. He wasn't Carl's handicapped brother anymore. He was Mikey. He was the neighborhood kid. He was the mascot, Everybody would say, hey, how's it going, Mikey? And that gave him the confidence. That allowed him to grow, allowed him to be who he wanted to be. So to have my brother like that was it. And it's funny because my goal was to do something in his memory. And I am doing it in his memory, but what changed about it was the bonds that we were creating. The bonds that he was able to show me is what I am now showing this community.
Hi, my name is Brandon.
I am Kelly Fisher, his mother. Before Mikey's League, we didn't have a lot of support and we felt a little more isolated. So it has brought that sense of bigger community and bigger family to us, and just seeing him succeed and improve his skills is just the greatest thing in the world.
Mikey's League is my second family.
That's it's the craziest thing. Let's since we got time, let me go. Let's bring it down. Let me tell you about Mikey. All right. Me and Mikey were like 5 years apart, and I was like 5 years old, 6 years old, changing diapers because both my parents had to work. We weren't, financially well off like a lot of people. So both of my parents had to work, and I just remember me and him I would change his diapers. I would, take care of him. It was just, that's my little brother. I remember feeding him. I remember just growing up fast. Mm-hmm. And with Mikey, I don't know, it was a journey. Like, he wasn't as fragile as I thought he would be, And as he got older, he wanted to just take on the world. He wanted to follow me. He wanted to be with me and do all the stuff that I was doing, all the stuff that he saw everybody else was doing. So it's crazy. It's just crazy to think about it now. Like, I haven't really thought about that in years, Stories I got, like, this is how incredible this kid was. Like, I want to say he was like 5 himself, right?
Yeah.
And we're doing Little League, and he couldn't play in the Little League because this was your typical Little League. And I remember there was a little girl he made friends with, and there was this big older kid, not too much older than he was, that was picking on her. And when he had his pacemaker, it was put into his belly. So it was like right here, wasn't up in the shoulder or anything. So he was really, really skinny. So he had this bulge out like that. And I remembered a kid coming over, and I still picked on him. I was beating on him. I was doing all that typical stuff. But the little girl was getting picked on, and he's like, "You can't pick on her." And the kid's like, "What? What are you talking to? I'm going to beat you up." And he goes, "You can't hit me." And the kid goes, "What? I can't hit you?" He's like, yeah, I got a pacemaker. And he lifted up his shirt. And I remember watching from the outfield, like, because I was a horrible baseball player, but I remember watching. And the kid went and looked down, got close to his belly, and was like, what? That's so weird. Like, and he uppercutted the kid so hard, knocked him on his butt.
Yeah.
And it was just from there, it was like, Mikey's league is, Mikey is a different creature, man. He's a different beast. And that was like, he wasn't going to let the world tell him no. And that was like always in there. Like I that's what made me realize I can't treat him any like different. I needed to play with him. I needed to beat him up. I needed to be that big brother for him. So,
What age was that?
that was like, he was like 5, 6 years old, I want to say.
6, and then he did all that?
Yeah, he was like, you can't pick on me. You can't hit me. And he pulled up and he had the pacemaker. And it was one of those things that just looked weird because
Yeah.
it was like, you see skin and a big bulge. It was just one of those things like, you were like, what?
Yeah.
And I remember him uppercutting the kid. Just was like, you can't do that, pick on a girl. So that's one of my like core memories about him. And then when we got him into playing with the neighborhood kids, like it was such a change. Because everybody used to be like, oh, that's Carl's handicapped brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's whatever.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna mess with him. We're not, it's all.
It wasn't Mikey. It was, yeah.
Yeah, he was known as just Carl's handicapped brother, and I hated that. And so when we got the opportunity and he wanted to play, I think this was right when he was around 10. We were like, all right, fine. And I was like, he could play. We'll figure it out. And that's when I, tell the story. Like we would scare him, like, and he would fall. He had this walk that, I don't know, every kid with cerebral palsy would just know the walk. Like when you have these LFOs and you walk in, his feet would turn in. So he had this like little walk, but he didn't have the best balance. So that's where the whole idea was like, we would just scare him and he would fall over. And that's how I used to get back at him. So I didn't get in trouble by my mom, like beating on him. Because he would even be that kid. He's like, you hit me. I'm like, I didn't hit you.
You know,
Like,
that's so funny that you created that just because like I have a sister.
Yeah.
And oh dude, I was a horrible brother when I was younger. Thankfully we have a good relationship now. But man, like it's interesting to hear that you found a way to still be that playful, rambunctious brother to Mikey. Like that's really cool.
Well, I mean, he never gave up on anything. Like we found other organizations, like going on the East Coast. I remember we would travel 2-3 hours to go play in a baseball challenger league, which is very similar to what Mikey's league. It's all focused on cognitive and physical disabilities, and they would. I remember the league in our area, or the team in our area, didn't have enough kids, so they were scrambling and like came to my mom and was like, we're gonna have to shut down. And my mom's like, well, how many kids do you need? And there's my other brother too. It's 3 boys,
Of course.
and he goes, she's like, well, that sucks, that's horrible. Like, what do you need? And he's like, well, if we have anybody with a disability, they can participate in the league. And my mom was like, well, my 2 sons are dyslexic. Could they be? And so we became on the team. And I think this was like the real eye-opening situation to before getting him into football. But we were out there. There was an athletes that we were playing against and we had on our team that were, phenomenal. Like there was a kid, he was older. I think this is when right around I'm 13, and he's this kid was like 17, but homers.
Mm-hmm.
Every time at bat, he would hit a homer. He was
You mean a homer's a home run?
home run? Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I don't know very, and that's also one of the things that we should probably do together is that like if, because I know we've talked about like doing some content with Mikey and stuff like that. I don't know sports. Just so you know, I am a nerd about all of this, and I don't know sports, so it would be really cool to learn all of the things because that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Now, I do want to. Now, we just jumped into it, and
Yeah.
and I did that because I wanted the audience to know why we're here. Now, let's take it back a little bit.
Okay.
I want to know about you. I want to know about your story because you. And now, pretend that we haven't spoken at a coffee shop already, okay?
Yeah.
This is for the audience because I know, and I don't want you to say, well, we've talked about this and this, and we have, but I want these people to know who you are, how, what happened in the military, expanding on that, and then why you took it upon yourself to do all of this, and I think it's amazing. So I'm gonna give you the floor.
Yeah. All right. So I don't really like sharing about myself too much because my focus in Mikey's League isn't really about me. It's about making sure my athletes are the focus. But
I'm gonna pause you right there. That's why you're a great leader, because it's not about you. But today, people need to know who the leader is.
Sounds good. So I grew up on the East Coast, loved sports. As you can tell, I'm a very small guy.
Stop. Hold on. Switching the camera. This, just so everybody can see. Yeah, I had to change the camera angle because he's such a small guy.
Tiny guy.
Okay.
Tiny guy.
Anyway, keep going.
6'2", a slim 240,
6'7". What are you talking about? You're cute. Anyway.
6'7".
Oh my God. Did
As a
not mean
kid.
to say that. Whatever. Keep going.
So growing up sports, I just loved football. I mean, that was my sport. Played it. I had played in high school. I had chances to play in college until injury. Played anything that I just loved competition. So ended up getting injured. So pretty much everything that I was looking at going further in college just went to the side. I ended up signing up to do a Duke College, which is junior college.
Okay.
Right? They had a 4-year plan for 2-year school. I know. Don't do the math. It's just
I'm not the
it's
math
your
guy.
math. It's your math.
It's my math. I'm not the math guy.
Ended up just I went and started working at the hospital, and I was like, I'll become a nurse. I'll go to school full time. I was partying full time. I was working full time, and ended up realizing I want to join the Army. I want to join the military. It wasn't the Army at first. I was like,
Okay.
I'm going to do Air Force. And I stepped in the Air Force, and they were like, you're too big.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, you're just, I was a little heavier, but they were just like, you're too big. And I was like, okay.
Wait, to do what?
I don't know. I just
Oh,
stepped
they
in.
didn't
They were
tell you?
just, yeah, they just was like,
They're like, no.
You're too big.
Okay. All
That
right.
was it. I was like, okay, no problem.
Interesting.
Right next to it was the Army.
Got
So if it was any other thing that was next to it, I would have been in there, but it was the Army, and I joined the Army. It was a new life. It was like the best, Craziest thing is as soon as I joined the Army, I met my wife.
In the Army?
No, I was before I went off to the Army. I met my wife. Within I had 2 months to be home before I shipped out. Before I went out, I met my wife, and I was like, you know what? This is the weirdest thing. I'm like, do you want to still hang out, be with me? But I got on the bus, and we made
Wow.
it. Yeah. But I joined the Army. I loved the Army. It was nothing like I wanted to stay in and everything. I ended up deploying to Iraq for 50 months with my unit. And
50 or 15?
15.
Okay, 15. Okay.
Yeah, 50. Whoa.
Hey, I mean, that's what I heard, so that's why I wanted to make sure.
15.
Okay, 15. Got it.
50 months to Iraq. And I was to explain how it was over there it's a beautiful country, right? I'm not gonna lie, there's houses that are marble, all that stuff, but it's trash all over the place. But it is think about it is like the history of it.
Yeah.
Like we drove by the Tower of Babylon. Like I was like, that's crazy. Like that's biblical.
That's history.
That's
That is
history.
literal
That's-
history.
Like I could be standing where Jesus was, like this
Yeah.
is, Peter Paul could have been there,
Yeah.
So that was like my mentality. But when I went over there, I was scared for the first 2 weeks there, and then realized, we're good. We're gonna rock out. I trained with all my guys. I was there. I was ready to go. It was unique. It was a unique experience, eye opening for me. I ended up struggling. I'm trying to decide how much of I want to bring in a little bit with this and not, but
You don't have to. I mean, I don't want to bring up anything that's gonna like hurt you or
yeah. Just a little bit like how I was. So
yeah.
I was always the jokester, right? Whenever we were in a battalion line or anything like that, someone was yelling at someone, I would yell, "You won't hit him," just like, "Hey, you won't hit him," and everybody would laugh, kind of thing. I was just kind of my personality was always to make everybody laugh, make everybody to release the tension.
Yeah.
So when we deployed, no one cared about holidays anymore, nothing like that. It was like Christmas is nothing. We're not near family. We're not going to be. We're with each other. So I always made a point to be birthdays. I wanted to make everybody's birthday seem like something.
Okay.
So I would dress up as characters to
Okay.
make everybody laugh on their birthday.
I didn't know this. This is good.
Yes. Like
Okay, so what are the at least two examples?
2 examples. Well, I did. There's a picture of me
Okay.
with a shaving cream bikini, saying "Happy Birthday" to my chief across my belly across my belly. There is another one for my XO out there. I'm wearing like Hulk Hogan gear. Like I have like I took a mop,
Yeah.
put it on my head, put a bandana, and we have in the Army, you don't get tighty whities, you get these brownies. Like they give you brown underwear.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, they're tighty whitey brown underwear.
Yeah. Okay.
I got like a medium, cut the whole, cheeks out. It was like, "Hello, brother," like, "Happy birthday," like
That was
going
pretty
off that.
good, actually.
I practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
Practice
I
that.
might still do it in the mirror once in a while.
Yeah.
But my goal was just to make everybody happy and make everybody laugh, because where all you're doing is when you're there was the tension. And then I was like, you know what? I need to make everybody laugh. So that was my goal, was to always make everybody laugh. Now, when I was there, because Iraq is a big part of why Mikey's League is Mikey's League. My brother, he ended up having complications with his heart. And, like I shared in that video, he wasn't supposed to live past the age of 3, but he made it all the way to 21. He was on the donor list. The heart didn't come in time. He ended up passing away. And my unit, sent me home for his funeral. And the craziest thing is, the day of his funeral, my unit, my guys, they got hit with a big IED.
No, can you explain? Because I don't know what that. I heard you say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Improvised explosive. Basically, they take. Sometimes, we. It's a war-torn country. It had, from Desert Storm, there was rounds. They would have tank rounds, artillery rounds.
So they would almost
plastic.
take anything.
They could take anything and create a bomb out of it.
Okay.
And like I said, it's my mentality of everything over there is like I don't underestimate humanity at all. Like the Iraqis were able to make satellite dishes, to get internet cafes from copper wire and steel garbage lids.
What?
Yeah. They would get satellite and create their own little satellite dishes to create, internet cafes and stuff. So they were
They have
capable
to be
of so
very
much more.
smart. Yeah.
Oh, there's no, like I said, it was an underestimation. Underestimated,
the
yeah.
people. Yeah.
I mean, when you come into something, you're not thinking what it is and what they can do. But getting off topic, so IEDs are improvised
Yeah.
explosives, and it can be made out of anything. So, yeah, my unit got hit. My platoon that I was with, got hit. Luckily, there were some injuries, but nothing too crazy. But how it was done, like where the round went off, was my spot, because I was always the guy that went in between the trucks. Like, we would pull the trucks out. You have guys in the trucks. They would stay just in case you had to exfil real quick, and they would go into town hall meeting. But I would always come back and forth, walk back and forth, walk back and forth. And if I was there, I was that guy. I was always going back, and when they got hit with the explosion, it would have been me. I would have been not here, and my brother would have not been here, but because my brother.
And that's why you said in the video that your mother would have buried 2 sons that day.
Yeah. If my, I don't know, like, I'm not a spiritual person or a religious person. Maybe I'll say I'm more spiritual. If my brother had the foresight or something to feel something or see something, it just kind of felt weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, goosebumps right now thinking about it, He passed. And then I got to come home, and then that happened. And, I'm old school thought is like, I'm the big brother. I'm supposed to protect him, not him protect me. If anybody had to pass, like, it should be me. It should be me, not him. That's not that mindset you have as a big brother.
Yeah.
It still goes down to that, old school way of, like, if my little brother got in trouble with school or something, or I got in trouble too, because, I should have known better, kind of thing. So it was just that was in my mentality of that time was I got to take care of my brother, and I couldn't be there by his side when he passed. And then when I got to come home, that happened. I couldn't be near my other buddies, my other brothers, because that's literally what they are. They're my brothers. And I was lost. Like, I felt so damaged from, like, I could not stop, though. I couldn't be there to stop that. I couldn't be there. And that was, like, the mindset that I had. I came home. I was angry all the time. After a bit, I got discharged due to some of my mental health. I was medically retired from the Army, and I went through a whole thing where I felt abandoned. It was just like a domino effect of my life, like feeling like a failure. Like, everything I've done or tried to do, what I was trained for, was a failing. And I happened to come across this gentleman at an event I was doing with another great organization. He was a World War II vet, and he probably, like, I got to hear his story. He shared how he was barely 17, forged his birth certificate, was in the second wave into Normandy. Like a true Captain America guy. Like, this guy was like, I'm like, oh man, you're a real deal. Like,
Yeah.
you're the guy. And I heard his story, and he shared it all, and he was, like, really impactful. And I was just like, man, I'm not nothing like you, man. I'm not, I was struggling mentally. So I ended up going to the bar, and he walked by and saw me. He was like, hey man, he's like, hey soldier, let me sit down. I want to hear your story. I want to talk to you. And I was like, all right, cool. So he asked me about me, and I shared all that stuff. And this is the best advice I can give to any veteran out there. Best advice I can give anybody, actually. he goes, I'm going to save you 60 years of anger, hatred, 3 marriages, everything that he went through. He's just like, this is the best advice. And I go, okay. He's like, look, those soldiers you lost, those buddies that aren't here, were they great soldiers? I was like, yeah, hell yeah, they were. He's like, okay. He's like, do you think they were great mothers and fathers? Do you think they were great brothers and sisters? Do you think, husbands and wives? And do you think they would have made a difference in their community if they were here right now? I said, yeah, they would have. So he's like, stop living like they're not here and live like they are. Pick up their flag and run with it. It's like, if you got to fake it, then fake it to make it, but live what you think they would be doing.
Wow.
And that didn't cure me, but it made me start thinking like, I need to make a difference where I think everybody around me would be doing. My brother, Cooper, other guys that I lost. And I started taking that journey. I started getting myself into trying to learn what sports was what me and my brother grew up. So when I came back, it was like, I got to try to make this work. And I'm not going to lie to you. I had my bad days. There were struggles between me and my wife. There was times that I was ready to call it quits. And I had that strong wife that I only knew less than 2 months before I joined. And she stayed and married me a year later and held my back through everything.
That's a beautiful
I went.
woman.
Oh, I'm the luckiest man. I won the lottery with her. She slapped me upside my head because she knew like I was like, she went like this. She was like, and I told her, I'm like, I'm not the man you ever want. I wasn't the man you married. I was like, you can keep the house. I'll split the money with you. I'm going to go and live out in the woods or something. And I already had everything planned. I was like,
because of your mental state?
Because of my mental state. Because I felt like such a failure.
Yeah.
I felt like a failure to everybody else. And when I struggled, when I felt that way, it was getting back down into that hole. And then it was.
I will say it is profound in a good way that you communicated with her how you were feeling, because I've seen so many times that men don't do that, and then they just the relationship just explodes. Mm-hmm. So I believe you, but I'm saying like if that is true that you communicated with her in that way, then I commend you for that, because like. I'm assuming what you're going to say is that she then responded to that conversation saying something like, no, dude, I'm here for you.
It wasn't a say, okay? She slapped me upside my head and said, what's wrong with you? That was it.
Okay, that.
I mean, she was like, no, we're in this together,
That's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, she slapped me. She
good woman.
She physically hit me.
Good, because I mean, a big man.
She's
that's what I was gonna say.
5'2", like
you got to wake you up somehow,
Exactly.
and you can't talk to a grown beast of a man. You got to a little bit.
Yeah, she handled this beast, but woke me up and made me realize, and that's like, and then I met that gentleman afterwards, and that made me realize I got to start making something, and I got to start being someone, and I got to start trying to live like everybody, like how I pictured everybody else. I pictured everybody making a difference. And so it was like, all right, hold my beer. Let's go and make this work. So it was a long track to get Mikey's League off the ground and stuff, because I always planned it out. I was working with another youth wrestling league, and I started off as security for them. I was like,
this is exactly what I was going to start asking you, because like I wanted to know, like, and the people who are listening, like it's not so much about like some esoteric like, I'm building a nonprofit. This is like what I want to do with this podcast and with you is like I want to break down like how, like, were you working a job in order to pay for the t-shirts, to pay for, to create, and then what did it look like? Like that. So this, in this little segment right here, this is what I want to know.
So it took time. If I'm going to be honest with you, when you have a dream, it's going to take time. It is the difference between successful and failure is you keep getting up. You will fail 1,000,000 times, but it only takes that one time that you keep getting up and you'll pass. You'll get there. It's just that one moment. I mean, I thought of everything. I gave up on everything, and then like I started putting myself in positions. Like I was like, well, if me and my brother love sports, I want to do something in his name through sports within that community. I got to learn it. So I started off as a security guard. Then I ended up being a director of youth wrestling, and I ended up starting working with the Olympic Training Center out in Colorado Springs with it, or volunteering.
Sure.
Either way, there's no paycheck. I didn't get any paycheck from the Olympic Training Center, but I worked with all the.
Well, and that's a good point, because did you know that that was the right thing to do? Like to communicate with like these different organizations and then come in there and saying like, hey, this is what I can provide as a service, as value. And in return, and I'm assuming in return, you learned how they pieces of the organization of like you learned kind of like the back end. Like, is that did you know that going in, or no?
No, you're making me sound way too smart. All right, let me.
Hey, I don't know.
Basically what I was doing is I want to do this. How can I run it? And I had a friend that was running this wrestling league, and so I was like, "Hey, do you need help?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll use a big body like you." And I started off, like I said, security. Then I started into director, and then I started running events for him. And I started seeing like all the steps. Like I took advantage of those moments. Like I need to see the nitty gritty. So I started at the low end and was like, okay, I need to make this work.
That's really smart.
And I was like, just happened to be that way. And then I was working other jobs and still helping out. And then finally, me and my wife, we just was like, we every once in a while, we just like, we like to start over. Like I build success. I'm like Eric Clapton when it comes to jobs or careers. Like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is super great. I'm building great success. You know what? I want to go be a network engineer guy and start over. And then it's like, oh, I got that going. Oh, well, guess what? Now I want to go do something else. And we picked up, me and the wife ended up, fast tracking a little bit. Our story moved back here. And I was actually doing nothing. I ended up applying for a job here, and I got the job. And then when I got here, I didn't have all the credentials the job wanted. And
I'm going to pretend like I didn't know this part. So keep going.
So I was like, oh, I moved to Arizona. I'll be a network engineer. No problem. It's going to be near family, all my family and everything. That's awesome. And I get here, and I went in, and they're like, okay, now we just need your credentials. And I'm like, well, what credentials? I was doing network engineering without any credentials. They're like, oh, we don't
accept.
We need you to have that. And I'm like, well, do I have a time frame to get it? And they're like, no.
You're like, yeah, a month ago. Like, whatever.
Like so I ended up being a stay-at-home dad, and then I started checking in, and me and my the other co-founder, Scott.
Wait, how many kids do you have?
I have 3 girls.
You have 3. Okay.
Yeah. That tells you a little bit about myself. Like before, it was like
very wild.
Yeah. We'll leave it that way. We'll keep it PG. Like I don't want to say it rhymes with duck boy, but I was that guy in earlier. In life, and then God
now 3 and 3 girls.
3 girls.
What are their ages?
I have one going 18, getting ready to go to NAU. Oh. I have a 13-year-old that is scaring me.
18, 13.
And a 10-year-old.
10 to 18.
Yeah.
The age.
We wanted to have me and so there out of me and my brothers, there's 3 of us. I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
And then you would call us Irish twins. Like the middle brother is like we're 11 months, 20 days apart. Like my mom just got healed up, and then my dad was like, let's go again.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And so we ended up like Irish twins. And then Mikey was like 5 years in between, but
damn.
So me and my wife were like, we're gonna put some space in between kids. So we did that. But no, the craziest thing is I moved out here and lost that job, but luckily I'm retired. I had my military retirement benefits, and I was like, what the heck? Like, I want to do something. And I shared with my high school buddy, Scott Freeman, which is the other co-founder of Mikey's League. I told him my idea. I was like, hey, look, I want to start a sports league for kids and adults with disabilities. Like, it's inclusive. It's like, I want everybody. I want physical, cognitive. I want everybody together. And he's like, yeah, that sounds nice. I'll give you $20. Like, we're sitting there at a barbecue just drinking beers, kind of like talking, making fun of each other.
How long ago was this?
This is around, I want to say 18. 2018 we talked about it. Mikey's League started in 2019.
Okay.
So
That's a good timeline.
I shared the idea with him, and we chatted it up. And he was like, very much like, yeah. And then he had a crazy story that happened on his end where he was a director of behavioral health for one of the big organizations. And he was like, I just talked to my buddy about this. Like, we'll get him into football. He had a situation come through, and I'm not going to do it justice, but the scheme line, he had a patient that he was like, get him into football, get him all the stuff taken care of. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah. He's too high functioning for Special Olympics.
What does high functioning mean?
So in autism, they talk about it as spectrum.
Okay.
So there are what society will put as a label of low functioning, high functioning.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest with you.
If you butcher it, no, it's okay. Like, I don't want you to like.
Well, no. I'm not going to butcher it, but the epitome of Mikey's League is there is no spectrum to it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are capabilities, and I think society does a lot of holdback. And with Mikey's League, we try to bring that
closer together,
closer to show that I've had athletes that were nonverbal, what people would say low functioning, Down syndrome, autism, and after a few weeks with us, ended up doing a design. Like, he would wander off. Like, people, I'm jumping stories, but let me bring
it's
it
okay.
back real quick.
No. Keep going. Keep say that, and then I'll bring it back.
So,
because this is interesting.
The story is we had an athlete come out with us, and he was low functioning autism, Down syndrome, nonverbal. And we were doing our drills. And how I teach our drills is I don't dumb it down. I bring it to a step-by-step case.
Okay.
Like, we are going to follow a play. You're going to go up and out. We'll do route trees, or I will use cones to kind of set it up. Mm-hmm. This athlete has been coming probably about 3 or 4 weeks now, would wander off with their partner, and then we bring him back and try to get it going. All of a sudden this week, he's like, I'm going to do it. And he ran and did the drill, caught the ball, and then ran upfield. And we had to chase him to get him back because he just kept running. But we brought him back. and I'm like sitting there going, let's do it again. Like, do it again. Like, I'm changing everybody else to do different drills, but I'm like, this is staying.
You do that one.
We're going to do this all practice.
Okay.
Like, and the craziest thing is the parents, this athlete, it was in his 30s. Parents are in their 70s, 80s, I want to say time frame. And they were so emotional, like, wants to see their kid.
Would you say that this participant, you were helping him to build his confidence? Like, were you able to see that, or is that what that was, or what would you call it?
I gave him the opportunity. Like, I can't take any credit. I just showed, and I kept doing it. I showed everything over and over and over again. And I'm not even going to say the parents were very passionate, loved this athlete. And I always say kid, but I mean, like I said, he's 40 years old. He ended up doing the drill, and he just kept doing the same. And it was this, it opened up his own parents' eyes to realize that my son is capable of so much more. It wasn't like, just to give you right now, the last update that we had was a couple years ago. He works at a Fry's. He has a person that was with him, but he works at a Fry's. He lives in his own he lives in a group home with other athletes or other people with his disabilities. His parents never thought that was something. Because the real fact of it and the real nature of this is, in this community, these athletes are growing up and their parents are growing older. And when they hit 50, can the parents take care of them? And there are homes, there are groups, that took it, but they didn't think much of it. They just thought, okay, he's going to stay in his room, we're good, kind of that way. But it ended up just opening up his own parents' eyes so that he can do so much more. And so now he has a job, he works, he lives in a group home. And like when I talked to his parents, they were like, I never thought my son was capable of so much. And you opened up our eyes to allow that through Mikey's League.
Okay, so I want to jump in here real quick. It's kind of crazy how your and my relationship overlapped. And I'm not going to go like fully into it right now, but one of the things that happened was we were both at the Cardinals climb at the State Farm
Well,
Stadium.
we've known each other before that.
That's what I'm saying.
We were
so
broskies before, but then...
Oh, yeah. No. We were cuddling. I'm just saying that like, like the overlap is crazy because, and you'll see where I'm going with this. So you're talking about how through Mikey's League, you were able to, and I say participant because of what I'm about to say. So the participant of Mikey's League, who, not a kid, but an adult, you were able to show the parents that their son was capable of so much more. I had just started working with Stars, and before Stars, I had no idea about this world, and I'm still learning. That's why I'm asking you these questions, because I didn't know about I didn't know the right words about cognitive disabilities, about the spectrum, about, I knew the word autism, but like I didn't know about all of these other things, nonverbal, that kind of stuff. And so it's, not only did I not understand this world, but now what I'm realizing, what I've started to realize is that, yes, these adults with cognitive disabilities, they're capable of so much more. And until I started working with Stars, I had no idea, because I feel like, and this is kind of where the question is coming from, where the question is going, I feel like society or the way that like I have learned or I have experienced adults with cognitive disabilities, they were kind of just pushed to the side and hidden and not taken care of somehow, some way, but like not really allowed the opportunity to become more or to experience more. And so I think I'm saying that as like a statement, but the thing is, what you're doing with Mikey's League, it sparked something in me that like you're allowing sports to be the conduit to showing the parents that their children have so much more capability. And I guess what's opening my eyes right now is that like what they do is they help with to get jobs. I never thought of it like helping in the sports arena, helping to build, and this is the only thing that I can think of, is like building their confidence. But like building their confidence so that way they can do more, be more, and then like and kind of what you were talking about with your brother, like they become stronger. Like they're not weak. They're not fragile.
No. You're right. First thing,
There's a lot there. I'm sorry. It was just there's
no. Well, first thing, let's big shout out to Cynthia over at Stars, right?
Claudia.
Claudia.
It's okay. It's okay. So
We'll edit that out.
We are not editing that out.
Claudia.
Claudia. Yes, it's Claudia.
My bad.
It's okay.
Too many shots to
and
the
by
head.
the way, but stop. And by the way, I did call her this morning. We had a call. She said to say hi to you.
Oh, she's dope.
Yeah.
She's my favorite. We're gonna bring dope back, everybody. Okay.
I say dope all the time.
I know.
Anyway, keep going.
But bring it back to Mikey, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring it back around to my little brother. Because the way we played sports with him and we treated him in the neighborhood, it quickly changed the atmosphere. It wasn't now Carl's handicapped brother. That was Mikey. Mm-hmm. And then it changed into, oh, look, that's Mikey's older brother. Like,
that's awesome.
They forgot me. Like, they were like, screw that big guy, let him go. I'm gonna keep Mikey. Like,
That's great.
I got pulled and
That's great.
and everything, but it allowed him to build those confidence. But think of all the skills you learned from playing sports. I know you're not a sports person, but the skills that being held accountable to not just you, to your coach, which sometimes is a father figure. Sometimes is that person that's a parent that you kind of like you're being held responsible to.
Yeah.
Your teammates. The plays that you got to come up, that's schematics.
Yeah.
That is, I'm going to do a button hook. Okay. Well, now I can if I can follow that line, I can follow wires. I can do that stuff. Like, that's the stuff, like the skills that people don't realize that you learn through sports, to the life lessons you learn to be adult through sports, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How we deal with wins. How do we deal with losses? That's all about being nice and kind. So that was the stuff that my brother was able to pick up. And my brother was able to realize nobody can tell me no. Because there's always that Hail Mary, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm determined. Like, if this knucklehead can start a nonprofit, right? Don't know the meaning of give up and still keep going, but be able to grow it to what I would never thought in 1,000 years I'd be where I am. I would not think I'd be working with professional teams, professional athletes, and setting up. It's just crazy. But my brother was able to go on, graduate high school at the age of 18. Usually people with his disabilities never graduated at 18. They stay in and they go to the age of 22 when the state then gives them a diploma.
Yeah.
And there's no funding anymore after that. They go out. So now it's how he was able to overcome the status quo, right? He continued on to go to MCC as a community college.
And what is MCC?
Mesa Community College.
Mesa. Okay, Mesa.
He went to Mesa Community College to do web design.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The old school web design.
Yeah, that was
the hard stuff. The hard stuff. It was like you're using
Python
and stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
He was learning that.
That's good.
Until he passed, and he was able to build his own friends. He was able to do all that himself, and have relationships and stuff, because he knew no one could tell him no. So that's like the whole epitome of Mikey's League that we want to bring, is to show our athletes that there is so much more. So I just, bringing it back to that athlete, it was showing his parents and stuff, which are his biggest fan, but sometimes it takes a coach, it takes someone to even show that there's so much more, because this way society will beat down on us just nowadays is the way we need to, we kind of got to encourage, be more positive, be happy, be happy for people,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to go on a soap tangent here for a sec, or a soapbox tangent, but let me just say
Go ahead.
There's opportunities that I never had that I am now creating. And that's what makes me happy. I'm like so happy to see people successful. Even if you're in the same business as me or something, it's like, I want you to be successful because, well, guess what? That makes me look good, or it makes what I'm doing look good, or you're giving me competition. And guess what? What comes from innovation is competition. That's where that's going to come from. It's like, well, I got to change my stuff up. I got to be a little bit better, or I got to know my place, my lane, you know? So that was kind of the thing. So that's what I wanted to bring when I started this program.
Yeah. No. Well, go ahead, keep going, and I'll interrupt in a second.
No. So bringing it back to starting a Mikey's League, Scott, he's a rabbit hole kind of guy. He'll do research, and he was trying to find anything like I had shared with him how I want Mikey's League to be, and he could not find it. This athlete was like, I want to play high school. He couldn't play high school ball because he was just too awkward, and the coaches didn't know how to deal with him or bring it down to his level.
Yeah.
So he didn't get the opportunity. It was just one of those things that he ended up calling me up a week later after he ate that crow, ate that. He was like, "Oh, I'll give you $20." He was like, "Bro, you got something. So let's figure something out." And then
Look good.
we started Mikey's League ass backwards. Like, usually most nonprofits, and this is for anybody who wants to start a nonprofit, the right way is you go find all the funding. You go and find anybody that's willing to back you, willing to pay for everything. Then you go start the league. I didn't. We took $2,000, went and bought football stuff, went and bought things, and started Mikey's League. We had like 10 kids when we first started.
I'll interrupt you here. I think I don't think there should be a right way to do any of this, because I think you did it the right way. The wrong way is always the right way. And what I mean by that is you didn't know. And the fact that you couldn't have known, because this is not what you were planning on doing. None of this was what you were, if you were planning on doing this, you would have figured out the right way to do it. So, you know how you said stop apologizing? Well, you stop saying you did it the wrong way.
All right.
You did it the right way for you, because this has led you to this conversation, and this conversation and all these clips and whatever the heck comes out of here is going to lead you to the next 3 to 5 to 7 years. So I just wanted, that's my soapbox.
All right.
Okay, keep going.
So now, like, we started off only doing football. So we only did football because that was like my bread and butter. Like, one of the things that we really strive for Mikey's League is we want those coaches that are passionate about this sport, that know the sport, that live and breathe it, that have years and years and years of experience. And football was that for me. I mean, loved it. I breathed it. I played it. So when we were talking about doing it, we're going to do it. The other great thing about it is, we make little tiny changes to kind of keep it fun for everybody. Still competition. Because my mindset of it is, I don't believe in participation trophies. I don't believe that everybody should get one because they just showed up. But I do believe each athlete brings something.
Good, yeah.
And that's kind of like the mindset that I try to strive for our kids. So when we started Mikey's League, we only did football. Then we were like, we should do something else. So we were like, well, let's do basketball. So we created a basketball team, a basketball league. COVID happened. And we had some great partners. We were partnered with ASU at the time. We were working with them, their Devils Adapt program. We had teams, 2 teams, I think, at the time that was going to go play in the Special Olympics tournament. And we were like, oh, we're going to come in. We're going to do good. Then COVID happened, shut everything down. And I was like, luckily, we were so small and still so fired up and passionate.
Yeah.
That's what kept us alive. Like, all of a sudden, there's no money, no way to we don't make money off the kids. We break even, but it was just like, my goal is like, we'll find the funds. You know, I'm not going to make money off these kids. I don't turn any athlete away. We do ask for someone to pay, because if you put skin in the game, you're going to make sure you're there every week.
100%.
You know,
That's the accountability aspect. Of
that
it, I
is
feel.
accountability. I mean, we've had people like, I can't afford anything. No problem. You're going to do volunteer work then.
Yeah, you're paying somehow.
You're going to pay some way,
Yeah,
some time,
exactly.
some effort. But getting back to it, it was COVID happened, and I was like, what can we do? Like, so I was like, we'll do a workout program. You know what? Everybody's going to be home. We'll do a virtual workout program.
Smart.
So we improvised, did a workout program. We made it free because it was like, I can't charge you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, why
It's
would
like,
you?
it's going to take me 2 hours out of my day, which I'm not working, because I still at this point wasn't working. Because I was like, well, I'm going to try to make this go, and we're going to try funds. And funds was nowhere near to be found because it was COVID. People like, I don't know.
They were just trying to save as much money as they
They're
possibly
like,
could.
I'm pulling
and
everything
toilet
back.
paper and all the other stuff.
You know, you were rich living on toilet paper,
Oh,
throwing it
dude.
out.
Oh, my God. We're not even going to talk about that right now.
But COVID happened, and we were like sitting there going, I don't know how this is going to work. So we ended up finally getting quite a few families reaching out, and it hit me hard. This is another like key memory and core memory that I have, and it gets me emotional every time. Is we had athletes, like their parents called me up and was like, look, my son doesn't understand why he can't go outside. He's in his head, and she's like, he wants to kill himself. He told me, he's like, I want to kill himself. I was like, we got to figure something. So
Damn.
I called up Scott, and we started talking. I was like, we got to do something, man. There's something we can do. We got to figure it out. So we were like, let's go get vaccinated. Let's go and call around these schools, see if we can get access to their, like some of the elementaries will have like 4 to 6 basketball courts.
Okay.
So we were like, cool. Can we get the basketball courts? They donated it, didn't charge us anything. So we broke up everybody. We opened up a basketball sign-up sheet, and how it was run, we came up with the idea. This is how, like, I love how shoot by the hip I get to be, like, sometimes.
Yeah.
We did three-man teams. You did 3-on-3, and one played on, like, the first court at the north side. The other one played on the second court on the south side. So you were catty corner from everybody. So you were far away.
Far enough away.
In case someone did get it. And I mean, we wrote everything up. It's like, hey, here's a waiver. Here's everything. Like, if someone does get COVID, you got to let us know. It's 2-week precaution. We took our aspects.
All the stuff, yeah.
All that stuff, told them, hey, here's a waiver. You're signing in case anything happens. We're not held reliable, all that stuff. But we had our insurance. We had everything go in. We did it. And from that, we ended up not thinking, wasn't going to think we had any. We had over 30 kids. All right, and 30 adults. 30 adults.
I say participants.
Yeah,
I
participants,
learned that.
athletes. We had 30
Yeah.
athletes.
I like athletes, yeah.
And that threw me off. I was like, and we had to shut it down. Like, we had to stop taking people because
Because there were too many and you
we were
couldn't
getting many on
do
the
all
waiting
stuff,
list.
yeah.
Like, we had people, I heard you're doing this. Can you get it? And I was like, man, we can't. But we ran a basketball program that way for that year. We did back to back because such a need.
Yeah.
Once all that stuff came through, we were like, let's get back into it. We know what we're doing is right. We know we're doing a great job at what we're doing. So we're like, let's get this going. Mm-hmm. During that time, all the craziness with COVID I went from paying $1,400 for rent, which we were getting our house built, but we were paid $1,400 all the way up to $3,000.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I went within like a year time frame.
Yeah.
It went to $3,000. And I was like, I need to get a job. So I ended up getting a job with a great organization, another great nonprofit, which, I love. And I was doing both. I was doing both
you had
sides
to.
because I had to. Like, I was trying to keep Mikey's League alive, but I was also working what I loved is I kept them separate as much as possible. Like, look, because I knew one, I didn't bring anyone over to one, and I never brought anybody over. I kept it that way.
As respectful as you possibly could be.
Just as
conflicts of
respectful,
interest.
but I don't want anybody, to say, "Hey, come back." But I did that for all the way up to this September. And then I ended up getting really sick, and I sat there and was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I need to take this time off. And I took the time off, which was great for my job. They allowed me. They were very accommodating and caring. And then after a while, I was like, I'm bored. I need to do some volunteer stuff. So I started getting back into volunteering with Mikey's League, doing more stuff. And I was like, I'm starting to think I can take it on full time. Like I'm like doing this, and we're kind of growing, and we're doing more. We started off, like I said, doing one event or one season in Tempe only, or Gilbert only, or anything. Now we're in Avondale. We have our flag football coming up in Avondale. We have our flag football coming up in Tempe.
Wow.
We started doing some basketball down in Tucson, like about 2 months ago. And we're looking at starting flag football in September down there. We partnered with the Cardinals and doing a bunch of events with them. We partnered with the Suns, did a couple of events, which was the craziest thing. The Suns let us use it's not the footprint anymore, but
Yeah. Whatever the center is, yeah.
their center. And nothing was more emotional than seeing Mikey's League up on the big screen there.
That's
on the court,
awesome.
Like
The Jumbotron? Is that what you're
on
doing?
all video screens had Mikey's League.
Wow, that's really cool.
That was like the craziest thing.
Did you get
I've
any
ever seen.
video of that?
We do.
Okay. You're
forward
going to
sometime.
have to get me, yeah.
I'm a little bit fatter then, so
Okay.
So-
well, good for you that you got skinny. I don't know why are you telling me this. Like,
I'm just
but-
trying to be like, people go in and it's like, oh my God, there's this fat guy. No,
that's fine. No,
I was.
Transformation Tuesday. I don't know what day it is. Go ahead.
We brought it back. But yeah, that's stuff that seeing what we're doing. We're getting ready to work with some other teams. We're trying to work with some other teams and getting things going. So, I know that we're all over the place, but like I said, but Mikey's League is just its own entity, its own beast. Like there are other like grassroots organizations out there that we're trying to work with to partner, because what we've learned is all these athletes see their brothers and sisters like doing travel ball, seeing them do getting on like travel teams and seeing the tournaments and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And about 2 years ago, me and Scott were like, we need to figure out how we can do this, where we can get all these like grassroots teams together, where we can get everybody to kind of start traveling all over and having a good time. I mean, there are.
So I guess I have tons of questions, but I don't have enough time right now. I guess the biggest question that I have for you right now is, because everything that you've told me is, I mean, I don't know how else to, I don't have a better word for amazing. So I think what you have done over the past, I think you said 7 years, you said 19, you started it, and it's 2026. So 7 years almost, basically. I think what you have done and what you've created in memory of Mikey is incredible. And I think, and so the question is, what would you like Mikey's League to turn into? What do you, and I guess 2-part question. What do you want it to do for the community? And where do you want it to go?
That is great. I mean, it's not gonna lie. Everybody asks me, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think. I just go with it, you know. What I'd like to see Mikey's League go is, I would love to see it all over the world. I would love the opportunity to bring it. The biggest thing is, I want people that take away Mikey's League is to show that that everybody can be together. Everybody can participate. There are more to, there's a stronger brotherhood in athletes. So anybody can be it, even if they're physical or if they're cognitive disabilities, physical disabilities, or even like none, that there is so much more we can learn from each other, you know? I have seen our athletes just super happy just to be playing on a football field. That's something that, you know, I think everybody else takes advantage of, like having a field, having great equipment, not just getting a t-shirt, but actually having jerseys with home and away, like stuff that I'm adamant about we do is there. And to share with everybody back, I was watching. One of my pet peeves is giving these athletes the same equipment that you would see at a professional level. Our jerseys are reversible, and we design them up. They're really sick. They're super cool. They have a home jersey. They get a away jersey with this. I've had parents like tell me they're peeling the jersey off the kid because they're wearing it a week straight. Like they're putting the jersey on, then they're putting their school clothes on and going to school like that. As like
because they feel a part of it. They feel like it's I don't know what the right word is. Like they it's their community.
It is, and it's like we have fields that we roll out, like specialized flag football fields. That have straps that do it and then create a field. I can put it in a park. It can be set up in less than 20 minutes. We have floor ball boards, which are like smaller hockey boards that we use. I just want people to understand like how we just go full out on things. Like we don't necessarily, the money that we get goes into helping paying for coaches and admin and stuff, but just as much that goes into that is going out into giving the proper experience for these athletes. Like we've just given you again, like we've done flag football, basketball. We are now doing baseball. We are doing ball hockey, you know, because we use the floor ball, but not many people know what floor ball is.
I don't even know what floor ball is.
Floor ball is, so it's specialized hockey sticks kind of thing that are plastic. You use a wiffle ball instead. And then you have these boards and goalie plays from their knees kind of thing. It's a really cool sport. It's very big in Europe.
Okay.
But I'm talking about like here when we play ball hockey, you use shoes. You're not skating or anything. We have the very first ever inclusive ice hockey team that plays in the beer league. And we took second place our first year ever playing. I mean, it was the Bad News Bears. When I tell you, like, people were struggling climbing over the boards to get back and do change out, it was like that. But then all of a sudden, like, it just got solid. I mean, and the benefit of working with a lot of our athletes is you're giving them the opportunity and you're teaching them. They go home and they'll practice for hours. I mean, let's bring back the Sandlot. Forever. Like 4 hours. That's kind of like, we had one dad was like, my son now, I was like, hey, we're going to play catch. And he was like, I can't play catch with you, Dad. I got a game going on. And he has a game going on in his hand and he's throwing the ball up as high as he can and running down to catch it. And I'm like, he's like, I never thought I would have these opportunities. I never thought this was stuff that my son would get passionate about. We had one parent who's big into baseball, loves baseball, played baseball all throughout his life, and I think had somewhat of a professional thing. And his son is autistic and never showed any interest, didn't care or something. Came to our league, was like, he loves baseball. He participates. I mean, and this kid comes out jacked. Like he has the sliding glove. He has like the $800 bat. He had everything all set. And I mean, he played and he was in the batting cages with his dad. It's like, and his dad came up and he's like, he got emotional because it is emotional because that community doesn't see the potential like I see. and I know I'm going off topic, but that's
No,
what I
it's
want
okay.
Mikey's League to be. I want it to open up the world's eyes to show the potential that everybody can have, not just blocking it off, not just saying, oh, they can't grow, they can't go any higher than this, they can't live a life, they can't have, that's crap. They have the capability, these athletes can go and do more. This community can do more. We just need to release the freaking glass ceiling that we put on them and baby them and allow them to grow. Allow them to grow as high as they want. Like, not all of them are going to be able to live on their own. But doesn't mean they can't go and work at a McDonald's. Doesn't mean they can't pay rent. Doesn't mean they can't learn their life skills. We can show that, and we can do that. And that's all the stuff that we learn through sports. I mean, that's the thing that drives me crazy that I try to state to people is think of all the life skills you learned or people learned through activities, sports, being held accountable, all that stuff.
Now, I do want to say this because I know that we've had this whole conversation, and I said that I don't know sports, and it's true because but there's a reason why. I had 2 heart surgeries, and I know I kind of told you a little bit, but like just for the audience, and I had 2 heart surgeries. I really wanted to play football. Doesn't mean I can't now because of like I'm fully healed and everything, but when I was younger, I really wanted to play. And so maybe actually, side note, I would love to actually get on the field and maybe.
I was already thinking that when you said you haven't, I was like,
yeah, if that's, I mean,
Jay, you're coming out. You're coming out. Now you said it to the world. You said it to the world, Jay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're coming out.
Yeah, that's accountability. You keep looking at the freaking camera, and good on you. Look at, a side note of a side note. The guy who doesn't like talking and doesn't like talking about himself is a expert on a podcast looking at the camera the entire time. Whenever he wanted to like make the point, he looks right at the camera. Dude, you're good at this. And,
I'm trying. I'm saying, you know what I think we need
What?
is we're gonna post this, right? And I
No
think,
shit.
Well, obviously, but I bet we're gonna get tons of people like, look, bring them back on. Let's do a part 2.
Sure.
We're going to do more.
Okay,
we're gonna do
yeah.
more together. But I think
well, we're gonna do more. But yeah, yes, if and with looking at the camera, for everybody who has made it this long in the podcast, I would love in the comments to know what questions you might have for Mikey's League, for Carl, for anything that we've talked about, because there's I know that there aren't very many people that have sent submissions who are in this field, are in this industry, are in this community. And so I do want comments and I do want questions so that way when we do a part 2, I can bring something that the community wants to know about Mikey's League, about you, about all of this, because we are doing a part 2.
we are doing a part 2. The other thing I want too is we're a nonprofit, and if you guys want us to come out to you, like we're here, we're staying in Arizona, right? But we're trying to get out to Baltimore. We're trying to get out to California. We're trying to work at other places. So you're going to be at different places. Let's start talking. Let's start seeing. Let's start planting the seeds of how we can establish a Mikey's League all over, right? And I would love to help out. I mean, like anything else, it's 2 things. The most expensive thing when it comes to nonprofits, right? The most needed things is finance, but volunteers. Volunteers are sometimes more needed than the money, but let's figure that out.
Just because for the other people that are going to be coming on, they're for profit. Okay, a lot of them are for profit, some of them are nonprofit. What I want you to do is, and you already did it, but I want you to I want it more direct. That was a indirect, and there's 3 different kind of sales, right? There's direct, indirect, and super indirect, right? You were in the middle. I need you to be direct, to look at the camera, and I want you to ask for volunteers and for donations or money or finance, because what you're doing is important, and all of these people are going to know, and I'm going to make you do it right now. Go ahead.
All right. Mikey's League always needs money. So if you feel obligated, you know what? No. You're going to give to Mikey's League because we're the best nonprofit. You want us to be where you are. We're going to figure that out. You can go straight to our website. You can go to mikeysleague.org, and that's MIKEYS league.org. You can click up donate or how to participate, how to volunteer, and you're going to sign up. You're going to get in there. You're going to come out and be a part of Mikey's League. You can also get us, we love sponsorships, great marketing, incredible marketing, especially here in Arizona. Since 2013, we started off with 10 kids, right? And grand total of everybody, we now have I want to say close to 1,000 on our mailing list. We have
Holy crap.
over, we probably right around 1,200 individual athletes. So that's not including their families. That's not including anything else.
That's just the athletes.
That's just the athletes and stuff. So we can help get those products in. So sponsorships, whatever. Let's start talking and getting things going. I mean, I'd love to set up a meeting with anybody that's interested. You can reach out to our website, or you come on and reach out to the podcast, and let's go.
And the reason why I asked you to do that is not only because it's important, and you need. It's difficult when it's you saying it, because you can feel it. Like the audience can feel that it's hard to ask for money. That I'm saying it because I'm the third party leverage, and on top of that, I know that you're making a difference in the freaking community. That's the whole point. That's one of the reasons. One of the reasons why I feel like the TikTok blew up. And then I feel like that is the reason why I wanted to start this podcast in general, is because I want to help the community grow. And you are helping the community grow. Okay?
Okay. Just yelling at me like a dad.
Because I love you.
He just brought me other trauma. Some more trauma.
Last 2 minutes, I want you to, what would you like to tell the community? What would you like to leave the community with? Okay, so it could be something, and you kind of already said like one of the most beautiful things in the beginning of the podcast. But what is something that you would like to leave the community with? Whether it's a quote, something that you want them to know about you or Mikey's League. What is that?
Man, he puts me on the spot. Let's see.
That's what I do.
You know what? We need a better world that is just happier for others. Like, don't be jealous. You don't know what their lives are like. Just be happy. Just be happy that you're waking up that morning, you got your coffee. And if you're allowing your work, your life, you're allowing the Joneses, the world, I don't know if anybody remembers the
Keeping
old
up with the
saying,
Joneses.
Keeping up with the Joneses, running your life.
Well, it's keeping up with the Kardashians now.
Well, yeah. Don't keep up with the Kardashians. I mean, do you, be happy in everything you want. If that's being a little weird, if that's being a guy that's eccentric about playing sports, I mean, just be you and try to make this world better. That's the best way I can say it. I mean, let me tell you, there's some videos. I got to be honest. If you come to our Instagram and stuff, and now I got to get a TikTok done.
Yes.
A TikTok done. But there might be a video of me trying to catch the ball doing a run and jump, and it's the slowest fall you've ever seen. I just have that power that it just looks like, and then it's like a hard thud.
Oh, great.
But no. One thing I do want to leave off, I want to leave everybody off on a happy and funny story. Sometimes the biggest insult is the funniest thing. I was playing with this one athlete, and he was trash talking me the whole time. Like, I can beat you. I'm like, whatever. I'm going to smoke you, kid.
Yeah.
I'm all the way across the field. He catches the ball. I'm running as hard as I can to go pull his flag, right? And I pull his flag, and I just remember him looking up to me and he just started waving his hands like John Cena. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I have autism. What's your problem? I was like, go take a lap, okay? Go take a lap. I was just like, it was just one of those moments, like, allow everybody to be themselves. That's what I love about these athletes. They make me laugh. And some of them are most incredible. Like, I got a guy that can do flips, jumps. Like, he would blow most athletes out of the water. Like, I see some NFL guys, like, sit somewhere and watches them. But You know what? That's part 2. So like, comment. We're gonna
Yes.
we're gonna make this go viral so we can do part 2.
I don't want viral. I want community.
All right.
And on
Community.
that note, my name is Joshua Coates, this has been, say your name,
Carl Bender with Mikey's League.
and this was the Baby J Show. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and participating and being here, and we will see you on the next one.
For sure.
Bye, guys.
Later.